Hello there, this is Miss Nakayama again, missing y'all terribly. Today's lesson is 12.2 Box and Whisker Plots. Again, I think y'all did this before in middle school, so this should be an easy review for you. Remember, a box and whisker plot shows the variability of data along a number line using the smallest value and the greatest value. Then you're going to know and then the data is divided into 4 equal parts, okay? And that's what these dots are representing, is the number of data, okay? Between the least and the greatest, it's easiest to go find the median, okay? Because we talked about that in a previous lesson. And then the median of the bottom half is called the first quartile, and the median of the top half is called the third quartile. So when you put all that together, you have this box in the middle. That box represents 50% of your data. And then each whisker, each of these is called a whisker on either side, and each one is 25%. Okay? And because it's divided into 4 equal sets of data, the quantity in each part is the same. That you have to have 5 different numbers, and so it is often referred to as a 5-number summary, or just a plain box plot. Okay, so how to make one? First off, you have to sort the data. So we're going to make a box and whisker plot that represents the ages of the members of a backpacking expedition in the mountains. So we have to sort this data. Fortunately, when y'all have to make your box and whisker plots in Delta Math, all the ones I did, the data was sorted for you, which makes it a lot easier. So quickly, the data is sorted. You obviously need to know which one is your minimum and which one is your maximum. And then the next one that you want to find from there is your middle. So when you're sorting them, make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in between, right here, in between those two 25s is my median. So the average of 25 and 25 is 25. So my median is 25. Then I'm going to use the bottom half. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of data. So I have to go in between number 3 and number 4 to find the median. And the average of those two, 22 and 24, is 23. And then if I count up 1, 2, 3 here, the average between 28 and 30 is going to be 29, and that's my Q3. So he has a number line all set up for you. So I put a number line down here with my minimum and my maximum. And then what you do is you put the dots. Again, if you weren't doing it in Delta Math, it'll be easy for you. But you put a dot on each of those spots. I'm going to put a dot at 22, a dot at 23. That's not 23. LOL. This is 23. A dot at 25. A dot at 29. And that gave me whatever. There's my dot at 29 and my dot at 30. And then you connect. So you've got your box in the middle. Some draw a line between the median and some don't. Okay. But those are your numbers, and that's your box plot. Okay. So again, very easy in Delta Math. You just have to fill in the numbers, and then you slide them along to this scale. He's already got the number line for you. Okay. So how do we interpret it? You got to remember some basic things about the box and whisker plot, as I just told you. These are quartiles. So remember that each piece represents 25% of the data. That's 25%, that's 25%, 25%, 25%. So this whole thing is 50%. Or if I wanted to go from here to here, that would be 75%. So just keep that in mind. And then we're going to talk about something called the inner quartile range, which I didn't talk about yet. But the box and whisker plot represents the length in seconds of the songs played by a rock band at a concert. Find and interpret the range of the data. So first off, the range, that would just be the highest, which is 300, minus the lowest, which is 160. So my range is 140. And to interpret it, that tells us that the song lengths vary by no more than 140 seconds. Part B, describe the distribution of the data. Okay. So when they say describe the distribution, all you know right now is that 25% of the songs, no, 25% of the song lengths are between 160 and 220 seconds. That's that left whisker. 50% of the song lengths are between 220 and 280, and 25% of the song lengths are between 280 and 300 seconds. Okay. Part C says find and interpret the inner quartile range. Okay. The inner quartile range is that box. And so to find the inner quartile range, you take Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 is 280, Q1 is 220, and 280 minus 220 is 60. So my inner quartile range, or IQR, is 60 seconds. And that means that the middle half of the songs vary by no more than 60 seconds. Last but not least, are the data more spread out below Q1 or above Q3? So I hope you can tell that the data are more spread out below Q1 because that whisker is longer. That's what I just said. So, all right. So the last thing to do is to be able to talk about the shape of a box and whisker plot, which is going to lead into our next lesson of 12.3. And really, all that you have to remember is which one has the longer whisker. And if the longer whisker, okay, longer whisker's on the left, it's skewed left. If the longer whisker is on the right, it's skewed right. And if they're the same, then it's symmetric. Okay? And if you want to know what it's telling, most of the data is on the right side of the plot. That's why it's skewed left. Most of the data is on the left side. That's why it's skewed right. So, all right. Compare the box and whisker plot. So this is a double box and whisker plot that represents the test scores for your class and a friend's class. Identify the shape of each distribution. So if I identify it, then that's when I'm going to use these words up here: skewed left, symmetric, skewed right. Okay. So first off, for your class, if you're looking at it, it's got a longer whisker on the left. So your class is skewed left. But your friend's class is symmetric because each of the whiskers are about the same length. Don't be exactly, but around the same length. Part B, which test scores, are more spread out? More spread out. Your friend's class has test scores that are more spread out because the range is 40 of your class. The range of his class is only 35. Remember, that's doing 100 minus 65 is 35. That's your class. Your friend's class went from 100 to 60, so his range is 40. And that is all we have for box and whisker plots. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a great day.